What's up, everybody? Hillbilly W.O.P. We started some projects on the Saab, and I mean we, Spencer and I. We started doing some interior stuff. If Spencer would show you right now, it's kind of just torn up, but oh man, don't worry, we're gonna get that fixed. Apparently, if you decide to add some speakers into your Saab convertible, you will have to put in you're gonna have to solder in a clip to the amplifier, the stock amplifier, to run the speakers.
Yeah,
Spencer's going to do a whole video on that.
yeah,
And literally, because it's so in depth and crazy, I had no idea that we had that much to do. Anyways, so we're going to go into engine stuff. Last weekend, I cleaned up the engine bay a little bit. First thing we're doing today is our valve cover. We got some Torx bits that we got to take off. This is going to be our ignition coil right here. We get that off, and we're going to be able to get the valve cover. And again, these are some Torx bit screws. Once we get all that off for you guys, we'll show you how it looks and how pretty it is inside there. Then we're going to throw on a new valve cover gasket and some new cam seals.
yeah. It needs cam seals the most. That's the valve cover gasket was done before by the previous owner, not me, but the one I got it from. But these cam seals right here, they're gonna need to get swapped out. And then yeah, that's it. It'll stop leaking all over the transmission, which would be great, and be able to figure out if there's any other leaks going on with this thing. Because you know, you want to make sure that it's all sealed up tight, especially if you're going to try to daily it and add a little bit of boost.
Yep, so that's what we're going to do first, guys. We'll catch you back here when we get these Torx screws out and check in and see what we find underneath that valve cover gasket, or valve cover, I should say.
Right here, just pop this one out.
Here, we're going to get this, the electric harness off here. And with this, we actually slide this piece over here. And I'm going to try to hold this with my pick and slowly, there you go, remove it.
Yeah, you want to make sure you don't force this out if they feel stuck. There's a reason that they feel stuck. You might want to give it a little jiggle and then try to pop it out. I always try to push from this side first.
Yeah.
Because that'll kind of free it up. Sometimes they get hung up on the opposite side. And
it's plastic.
Lock
again,
in, yeah.
Guys. Everything plastic. You got to watch out.
Yeah, most definitely. And then now that that's off of there,
we can actually see there is some more Torx screws underneath.
Yep. Yeah, for the actual valve cover. So when we get this lifted up right here, this unit will come up.
And we're gonna
you can see it's fairly new.
That is a fairly new.
This one was replaced, I think, by the previous owner. Then we got our spark plugs down in here, and you can see our cylinders are all numbered out. So those additional Torx are going to be inside of here. And then when we pull all those off, we'll be able to get the valve cover off and then change the gasket. But yeah, these things right here can be kind of a pain if you're doing some diag most of the time. I mean, you can separate these and
I'm seeing a little oil.
Yeah, you see a little oil right in here.
That's probably
valve cover gasket.
Valve cover gasket.
So, well, it'll be spark plug tube seals, but so we might have to take a look, yeah, because our valve cover gasket only meets here in the top. So if there is any oil in there, I mean, it could easily leak down from this port right here. And I don't know if you guys can see down there in the bottom, there's actually like a little hole. That little hole actually runs out over here onto the other side. So if a bunch of water or something gets in here, that's how it drains out, is that way. So now that we have this off, take the valve cover off and put this gasket on right here. And then we do have cam seals as well, which is the main reason we're doing this, because those cam seals do leak on this side and just makes a huge mess.
Real quick, as we were taking off our Torx bit screws here off our valve cover gasket, we had to remove, it was a 10mm bolt to get to the dipstick housing here, just to kind of move it out of the way. Anything else that we moved out of the way, Spence, that you can think of? I mean,
yeah, we took that hard line out for
the hard line,
the turbo, and then the intake pipe to the filter. But
okay, so realistically, we're still somebody did this job before, like Spencer said, and there was a few of the Torx bit screws that we had to finesse out of there a little bit, just because people torque down things too much or they don't use the right tools.
It happens.
So we're going to get this taken off though here in a second, and then we'll show you what's underneath the valve cover. This is something that I didn't realize, and Spencer was telling me this was where it was leaking. And now when he's showing me what this whole thing does, it's like kind of stupid as could be, really. So I figured I should show you guys this. So the cam seal, as you can see, we got our cam shaft running down here. The cam seal, all it does, it's not even, there's nothing connecting there. This piece here, this which would be holding down the cam, there's nothing there. All that's there is a little plug, basically. It's a cap. So what we had to do is you have to remove what would hold down the cam, and then there's just the plug. It's just sitting right there. And apparently Spencer was saying this is not even in the right spot, and the guy RTV'd a whole bunch of RTV in there. So we're gonna have to get that out and put it in the right spot, and hopefully we can stop that leak. So good news is looks really healthy, the engine wise.
Yeah, cams look great. Timing chain's great. I mean, there's not like a lot of play in here. This is everything looks good down in here. If you shine a light down in there, you can look at all the guides on the side of the timing. I mean, everything looks. The tensioners look great. The guides look great. So
yeah, everything's good. So really, we just got to put that stuff back together here. I'm gonna start cleaning off the valve cover itself so I can paint it.
Yeah, pretty impressive for over 150,000 miles.
Yeah, pretty good.
Pretty impressive in here.
I mean, I did just change the oil the other day too.
Yeah, but I mean, you would see sediment build up. This would be black and gunky. There'd be like all kinds of burn marks from like old oil. Like, see how over here it's a little darker. Okay, that's not anything in particular. Just the oil doesn't flow. It like basically will drain this way or drain into this way. So this is where like a lot will stick and get kind of like burnt or get buildup on it. But looking in here, I mean, all these cam caps look great. All of these rollers look great. All these lobes. I mean, I don't see anything crazy. A little dark right here, and a little dark right here, but everything else looks. I mean, looks great.
All right, so we'll get to moving on some of the rest of the stuff, and then we can get it all put back together and show you putting on the seal itself and putting back on this little cam seal itself too.
Yep.
Hey, I'm just cleaning off the valve cover here, just get some of this degreaser.
Yeah, it's wax and grease remover. So went ahead, Carl got it all sanded down as best as we can.
Best, because I mean, there's some pitting that's happened here.
And, just old,
you know.
But yeah, wiping it down with some wax and grease remover, and then we'll go ahead and be able to spray it. Carl, what color are you spraying this?
Satin black.
Satin black. Oh, I see we got some.
Oh, I see another spot on this.
Engine enamel from Rust-Oleum. It's their satin black. I've used some similar stuff for all of our valve covers and manifolds before. I love the high heat flame-proof stuff. That stuff seems to work great. And then they have some good wrinkle finish coats as well. So
I was gonna do the wrinkle finish, and now I feel like I should have, but yeah, you know, it's still gonna look okay. And
well, the cool part about a valve cover is you can always change it up a bunch.
Oh yeah,
take it off. It's just what a gasket. Yeah, we'll go ahead and get this painted.
So Spencer is dabbing some RTV around the valve cover. He's just putting little tiny spots where we can hold the actual gasket in place so it doesn't fall out when we go ahead and turn it upside down to put it onto the engine. And again, notice he's not really using that much RTV. If you use tons of RTV, the chances of it getting in there again are going to be pretty high, and obviously RTV is not going to be doing so well mixing in with your oil and cams and all that stuff. So here you see him just go ahead and put on the gasket and just kind of following the grooves and using that RTV again to just hold it into place, because we're gonna put that son of a gun in here in a second, and you'll get to see how the paint job came out. All right, so we did finish up our valve cover gasket. It was a success. Yes, thank goodness. We don't have any leaks. We just tested it out. Basically, guys, all we did, we put a little RTV in some areas that you saw in the video where we kind of put little dabs here and there. Got it in place. Locked her down.
Yep, new coil pack assembly.
We do, but it's making a noise, and that's going to be interesting. So we're going to watch that.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody has experienced that, but when we shut it down after it runs for a little bit, you can hear almost like an electric discharge in the unit, and then it's fine. But it seems to be running just fine, no misfires or anything like that. So maybe it's just this way of it discharging that extra power or voltage once the car's off.
So we're gonna check on it. You know, just monitor that. Next, though, we got hoses coming on. We're gonna get all new hoses put onto this bad boy, so it looks real nice. It's gonna look nice right there. Spencer, look at that, them red hoses there.
Yeah,
Ooh,
it's gonna look good
it's
right
gonna
here.
pop.
Yeah, all the coolant hoses, all of the ones for the reservoir. There's a bunch of good ones over there.
And
Should
then
fit.
and then we got the motor mounts after that.
Yep, and the exhaust.
And the exhaust.
Yeah, I've got to build the exhaust. Got Jones full bore muffler for that, and then we have a bunch of 2.5-inch pipe, and yeah, just your basic mandrel bent swan neck stuff, and then we'll go ahead and fab an exhaust up. I'm not 100% sure if we're going to do anything at the downpipe yet, but we'll start with a catback setup, and then if we go maybe with like a different turbo or something in the future, we can talk about a downpipe.
Yeah, we talked about doing maybe a blow off valve and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's to come, guys. I mean, this is a project car that I got this because I wanted Spencer to come and work with me on the car. And this was the reason, you know, that I got it, so that we could make this thing into its glorious, you know, back to somewhat of its glorious days. I'm not going to go crazy on all the little things that this would need to be a full restoration. It's going to be more of a driver, you know, drive it and enjoy it. You know, that's the fun of having some of these hoopty cars, is driving them. You know, if you're not driving them, then what fun is it? So, you know, get it going, get it on the road, and be able to enjoy it.
Yeah, those motor mounts are going to do a really good job of really tightening everything up in here. You know, and then getting rid of a lot of that NVH that's going on. But sure, when we get it on the lift to do the exhaust and the mounts, sure we'll get in there and get a better look from underneath the car.
Yeah.
I think that'll be really nice. Then we have everything to go ahead and get that fabbed up. So that'll definitely be something we'll try to get done in the next coming weeks.
Yes, sir. All right. So remember, more to come. So we'll get some more content up there, and like and subscribe. Thanks, guys.